So your opening scene looks like this. A door closes quietly as it walks past, head lolling off to the side, as if it is attempting to get a better look at something far off in the distance. As the latch clicks into place, it stops. It never turns to look. Its posture doesn't change. It simply stares off in the distance. Moments pass. Moments that feel like an eternity. The zombie turns and, without ever really locking its eyes on the door, shuffles up the short stairs, fists raised. No one really understands how the undead know where the living are hiding. They just do. So where we left you guys off last time was on the side of a cliff. Rudy had just climbed up a tree to get a good look at the valley to determine where you guys were at, and realized that all of the settlements within sight, which is a good portion of the Stolregard barony at this elevation, are on fire. What would you like to do?
Gabe reiterates it's not his fault.
We can't even hear him.
I'm sure he is saying all kinds of things.
It's like, well, I'm sure he's casting all sorts of spells.
I blame the guy you decided not to kill.
Who was that?
Sop?
Dude, don't you want to be about that? I know you're not addressing me.
What?
Sorry, I should say I know you're not addressing Marl.
Well, Graham believes that we should go find some more bodies to hit.
Find them what?
Bodies to hit. More orcs.
You just want to sack some people?
Well, yeah, you gotta kill the orcs.
Oh my gosh, dude. I think we should get to Stonefield.
Sure. Are there orcs there? I'll kill them.
Maybe if there's some on the way, I think we'll stop and pick them off, sure.
Perfect. I'll take the lead.
Of course you will. Yeah, get running.
All right.
For days.
That sound good to everybody? You'll start heading out of the camp?
Yeah, I'll try to find. We already checked everything. We looted everything here, correct?
We looted the bodies.
I want to check the big guy's tent real quick before we leave.
You check the big guy's tent, and you do find, maybe we got to this last week. I don't remember off the top of my head. Did you find the crates of goods?
I thought we did.
Yes, we did. We did
Because
find crates of goods.
Yeah, we talked about how it was just going to be identified because of detect magic and identifying stuff. Something like that.
No, that would have been for the magic item you found down in the cave. The crate, you do find crates of goods
We
here.
did talk about the cart of goods that came from neighboring cities.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And you did find a chest full of unmarked coins as well, and I believe I put that in your tracker as part of your reward. So you did find a box full of coins in a large crate full of merchants' goods that had a store symbol that you recognized as a store from Stonefield. But you didn't find anything else really of value.
I think we also talked about how we wanted to bring that back as well.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know that we came up with a plan for doing so because I don't think we found out how big the crate or chest was.
I'll carry the crate.
It's large. Graham would have to carry it, or two regular-sized human beings could carry it. But Captain Leg Day shouldn't have a problem hauling that thing around.
Just kick it down the road.
I can do that too. I can probably carry it between my legs.
No, don't kick it. It'll probably bust open.
All right. So as you guys break off into the woods, I'm going to share the cliffside map with you so you have a good feeling for what's going on here. This is where you guys left off last time. So you're heading down that trail that the orcs have blazed through the trees. And you're not very far off that first layer of the cliff when 15, 20 deer come running past you. They don't care that you're there. They don't even try and go around you. They just barrel straight through your group.
What direction are they coming from?
They are coming from the northwest.
I may drop the crate and draw my weapon.
Okay. You stand there for a little bit, and squirrels run past, raccoons, rabbits, even insects. The forest is alive with the noise of animals as all kinds of them come fleeing past you. They're also terrified that none of them barely pay any attention to you at all.
Can any of you talk to animals?
I think you're the only one.
Oh, no, not talk to me. I'm gonna grab one.
You're going to grab what?
One of the critters running past.
What kind of critter do you want to grab?
Squirrel.
Make a dexterity attack.
I'm going to start casting Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Dexterity attack?
It's like a ranged attack.
I'll just make an unarmed strike.
That's perfect, actually. 22. So, you guys are watching these animals come running past, and all of a sudden, Shush just, like, whips out an arm and grabs a squirrel in mid-leap, as if it's, like, nothing, and he's holding it gently and points it at Graham.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I pointed at the barbarian.
Why you run?
The squirrel begins chittering and freaking out, and then it cocks its head to the side, realizing that you're talking to it. It is confused by that. It communicates to you that there are people in the woods trying to hurt them.
Where?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere. It looks back to where it came from.
How many are there?
It can't really relate a number to you,
Okay.
but it communicates a lot.
Do you want to be our friend?
I would like to keep running, it says. It looks very nervously at the large bird.
It won't eat you. Probably.
The dragon, on the other hand.
That's true, yes.
That's true.
It's looking kind of hungry. Okay, well, I tell them that he can release the chipmunk and we're going to go fight some more orcs.
I'm going to put the squirrel exactly back where I got it from and just let go.
Like mid-leap?
Yep.
So you kind of just stick your hand out and let it go. It falls to the ground. It looks at you really weird and then just tears out, like kicking leaves up behind it. While you're having this conversation with squirrels, there's other animals that have come by. Some of the slower things that can move fast, good natural sprinters, like dwarves. They've come running past, not dwarves, badgers and things like that. But woodchucks, things that are slower, they're all coming through as well.
I'm sorry. You said dwarves, and the only thing I could think of was a dwarf running on all fours, just barreling back.
It was a shout out to when Gimli says that dwarves are natural sprinters in Lord of the Rings.
As I'm running through the forest, because I can speak with animals for 10 minutes, I'm going to tell them that it's all good, that we are coming to save them.
All right, so you guys start running through the forest, and you see an orc comes crashing through the trees just at the edge of your distance. It is running straight at you, but it's looking over its shoulder.
I'll do the same thing I did with the squirrel.
This orc is taller than you. This is a huge orc.
Oh, not a half orc, an orc.
Yeah, this is an orc. So you guys watch as Rudy disappears once again as he goes into hiding. And there is an orc barreling towards you.
I am attempting to grapple it.
I guess you have a better chance of doing that than I do, huh?
Let's see.
Graham, quick, pick up the orc and point him at the bird.
The orc barrels right over you. He knocks you aside and keeps running, and then he looks back at you, and he slows a little bit, and then starts running again.
We should maybe get to the, because we're out in the open, aren't we?
We're in the forest.
Yeah,
Are we in the opening of a forest? Like, in the map?
You're probably right there.
So we're not out in, a clearing?
No, you guys have just started to push through the forest after talking to the animals, and this orc came flying through.
I'll just wave at him.
I mean, an orc is a fearsome beast. Him running from something is not natural.
Dude!
Argrax also disappears into the woods nearby. He's like, man, screw this. And you watch as the Dragonborn kind of sneaks into the shadows.
I saw that, and I was like, dang, that was impressive.
Shush sneaks into the shadows. Then Graham is standing there alone and decides that's a really good idea. And also hides. And then I need you guys to roll initiative.
Can I be in a tree?
Make a dexterity check for me as you go to climb a tree. You get up in the tree, but you're not quite sure you're hiding as well as you were.
That's okay.
Ryan, I need a plus 17 again.
Shut up.
Everybody rolled up?
I think so.
Looks that way. All right. You guys see crashing out of the trees just in front of you. And I'm going to clear the pointers here so that we can accurately have a battle. Are 4 large orcish zombies.
Oh, orc zombies?
Yep.
I have
In comparison to the one that ran past.
They are marked in similar fashion to the one that just ran past.
a quick question. Did we actually rest, or did we just...
You just leveled. You did not actually rest.
So, for, like, when I get, would I learn a spell in the process or not? Or
Yeah, I'll let you do that since I gave you the free level to make sure we stayed on track for the story. So we can say they were spells and songs that you were working on.
Okay.
I don't know if we need a role-playing reason for it, other than the DM said you could have it.
I mean, I like that option.
It's always a good option. So, Graham, that does bring you up first. And let's move you guys back a little bit. Your friends and you are all hiding. You're not sure if the zombies know you're there or not, but they are trudging their way through the forest.
Okay, but they haven't seen us yet?
You don't know.
Are they running? Or are they...
They're moving very quickly for zombies. They look fresh. The only reason you can tell that they're zombies is their heads are all leaning back and they're making weird noises. And by the way they're trudging, they are obviously not alive. At least in comparison to the one that just came trucking past you.
Okay, and Graham's gonna...
Graham lets out a ferocious yell as he charges forward.
Yeah.
And lays into
That.
Oh,
zombie.
what a hot way to start the night.
Got some grant advantage there?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Recklessly attacking. I think that's all he can do.
Probably. Rage for a bonus action, I'm guessing? Or
Yep,
no?
Rage was the bonus action.
Yep, okay. Graham goes into a rage, recklessly attacks, and pounds the zombie for 17 points of damage. Rudy.
Yeah.
Did you shoot him with your short bow?
Yes.
Alright, so Rudy from his cover shoots the orc with the short bow, and wallops it in the neck, knocks it down to the ground, and it stands back up.
No.
Yeah. They do that.
I'm not gonna move, so I'm gonna...
Alright, so Zombie 3, seeing a target now, smooshes over towards Graham.
It has advantage on its attack.
Oh, that's good, because I was going to miss. What's your AC?
18.
18. So you're going to be hit for 5 points of bludgeoning damage as this orc slams its fists into you.
Which is halved?
That is halved. It's non-magical. So. And
I
again...
just want to make sure that you didn't have it already.
Oh, yeah. That zombie is going to miss you. Argrex.
1 second. Let's see. I will cast Cloud of Daggers. Can I, wait, hold on. I might do something different. Hold on. Okay, here's, I changed my mind. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, and I'm going to cast it on the 3 on the west of,
Yep.
Alright. I will roll dexterity saving throws for zombies. These are some very spry zombies. What's your...
12. So it should be 4, 2, and 1. I have to make... I mean, do you want me to target them? Actually, I probably can't target.
No, it's fine. I already... What's your spell save DC? 12?
That doesn't seem right.
No, that doesn't seem right. It should
That's
be
not right.
8 plus your proficiency plus your modifier.
Yeah, 12.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so only one
Your
of them.
modifiers 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Orc Zombie 2 is fairy fired. I will put a FF behind his name, so you can.
I can put it on them.
All right. Well, you put it on him then. Yeah, I rolled 2 16s on the dice, and even at a -4, they still beat your DC.
Wow.
And that's going to bring up Shush, unless you got something else.
No, that's my turn.
All right, Shush.
I'm gonna let some light fly. Radiant damage to the zombie.
All right, that.
Wait, I thought he fell down.
He did.
But thought they only come back with 1 hit point.
Some only come back with 1 hit point.
Alright.
Oh.
Shush doesn't know that.
No, Shush has no idea. Shush is just gonna throw light. So that's all he can do. I'm gonna stay up in this tree because it's safer here. And now my turn.
All right, so Zombie 4 looks enraged, and it will have advantage on its attack against... Oh, it has it anyways. So, Graham, you're going to be hit again for 3 points of damage. You can have that down to 1. And then Orc Zombie 1 is going to come trudging in. Oh, that's a good thing for advantage. He'll still miss you, but it won't be critical. And that'll pop us back up to the top of the round. Graham, you're up.
Okay. So he's going to target number 2, and he's going to drop the shield and the axe and take out the greatsword.
All right.
So close. And that is all he shall do.
All right. Rudy.
Gosh.
Zombies are not known for their AC, as you drop another arrow into him that you thought you might miss, but you did not. All right, Zombie 4 gets plunked with an arrow, and this time will not get up. Zombie 3's turn, as Rudy moves a little closer to the foray. And it does not have advantage on you, correct?
Correct.
That is a nat 1 and a recovery. So, Zombie Orc number 3 swings wildly and misses, ending its turn. Zombie Orc 2 is up. It swings at Graham. Oh my gosh, that's another nat 1. Good grief. He wildly misses as well, but no adverse effects from that either. Argrix.
I'm gonna walk right up.
Do it. Walk right up.
Oh no. I'm gonna breathe some ice at them.
Nice.
So it's a well, I'll do it. So zombie rep 1. So he takes 4, and the other one takes 8.
Got it. It's 2. But was it cold damage?
It was cold damage.
All right. Sounds good. So Argrix the Dragonborn walks up, breathes cold all over these zombies, does some good damage to them. Shush.
I will come and play as well. I'm gonna hit it with a stick.
Do it. Oh,
Why do I have advantage?
Because he's fairy fired.
Oh, beautiful.
So you critically clobber him in the head.
Get him.
And that's 16 damage. That's going to be a hard save. Oh. That was real close. All right. That orc zombie stays down. You see it twitching on the ground, and you think it's going to get up for a moment, but it does not.
I'll make my unarmed strike against the other one.
All right. Brings up... Is that the end of your turn, then?
That'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
Yep.
You slam your fist into the other zombie, and it... Oops.
Sorry,
That's
I
my
pushed the
bad.
button.
I pushed it, too. I got used to pushing it for the guys. I'm trying to break myself of the habit. So, let's see. Zombie Orc 1 is going to attack the bird that just punched it. It looks like... Oh, my goodness. That is my third nat 1 for an attack in a row.
Jeez.
I mean, to be fair, it's every other dice, but for an attack. And a 13 for recovery, so he's good. Zombies have a rough round. And that brings us back up to Graham.
Recklessly attacking the zombie.
It's a little easier to make. And that zombie will pull itself back up.
I just want you to know that you recklessly attacked the zombie that had fire.
No.
No, that one's dead.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Tony killed the one. Shush
Okay,
did.
I was like, that's right.
That's why I didn't recklessly attack last turn. Also, your zombie now has unconscious stuff.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that off of him. All right, Rudy. What are you going to do, man? You going to shoot him again? Oh, stabbing this time. Look at that. Just getting in there and stabbing that zombie.
And I'm going to disengage and move.
Okay.
Oh.
You hit that thing so hard after watching how much damage the other guys have done to the zombies, you feel like you almost killed it in that one swing.
Epic.
Yeah. You just stab it like right through the neck up towards the head. And
It's now nearly headless Nick.
yeah, it's like its head is just barely hanging on, like lolling off to the side. And it is going to attack Graham, who's no longer using a shield.
Who's no longer using a shield, and it is a reckless attack against me.
Oh, that's going to end up being a crit.
Ooh, that hurts.
It does. That is going to be 13 damage. You can have that down to 6, but I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw as this almost headless zombie manages to bite into you and start to tear at your flesh with its mouth. 19. Good roll. And that'll be the end of its turn, bringing up Argrix.
Which one? Oh, 3? Okay, I'm gonna take.
I mean, they're both almost dead.
Well, I have 2 attacks.
Make its con save. It will make that. It stands back up.
Oh, whoops. Well, either one of those I hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shush.
That's my turn.
Argrix stabs the zombie. It gets back up, stabs it again, and it just kind of continues to lumber at you guys.
Oh, good. I'm going to hit it with my stick. Nope.
Ooh. Another d20 roll for me on that nat 1. Ooh. Near critical blunder. You do manage to punch it right in the face, though. Pretty hard.
Yeah.
You hear its neck cracking as you slam your feathered fist into its face.
Alright, that'll do.
Awesome. So it brings up our zombie friend, who's going to attack the bird that just punched it and miss. He lumbers forward and cannot recover after you smashed him. Graham, zombies. One just took a big bite out of you.
And he is getting a return favor with the sword.
Come around with the great sword. Oh. Hit him as hard as you feel you possibly could. And this time he stays down. Take his head clean off and it smashes against a tree. Rudy zips in for the stab.
No, that was supposed to have sneak attack.
Well, add the sneak attack because I do need to know the total damage for my saving throw. That is a total of 19. Yeah, good luck, zombie. Ooh, he tried. 17 on the dice. Not quite enough, though. So you put the zombie into the ground, and you watch as their arms start to twitch and detach themselves and start very slowly crawling across the ground.
Where? And then, like, are they all moving in the same?
They're moving towards you.
Oh, shoot. I never added the rage effect for me.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh, well. Well, can we go in that general direction?
The direction that the zombies came from?
Yes.
We have some hands to kill. What are you doing? I'm killing hands.
I don't know if we're going to be able to kill the hands.
We're about to get these hands.
I'm going to radiant sunbolt them until they stop moving.
Okay. Then I will start eliminating them from the combat tracker. Because it does take them a few moments to detach themselves from the orc. So you start radiant damaging them, and then they do stop twitching around and moving.
Can I ask a question real quick?
You can.
Yeah. Is it both hands?
Yep.
Like the hands detached themselves?
It looks like they started to pull away from the zombie bodies, and the few that ripped off, they ripped at different places. A couple came loose at the wrist, one of them at the elbow, another one up at the shoulder. They seem to detach themselves wherever the creature was the most damaged.
Can I, before you kill one of those, can I just pick one up?
I mean, sure. You can. I mean, if Shush doesn't, if Shush will stop blasting him.
I just don't like that they're moving. If he stops me, I'll stop.
I mean, like, I'm concerned that there's a specific reason why the arms are coming off.
Magic.
I mean, yeah, but, like, the bodies are dead except for the arms. Why are the arms coming in?
Because you're holding it.
Well, you do see other parts of the body moving and twitching still. It's like you see muscle twitches in action, but the arms do seem to be the most active part. Like that's where whatever is causing the zombification is putting its energy in. So you pick it up, and it starts to try and grasp your hand as you're holding it. And then it almost intuitively knows where your face is and flicks forward really fast and tries to get a hold of your face, but you're holding it far enough away where it can't. And then once it can't get to your face, it tries to go back to your hand, which is closer to it. And the longer you hold it, the more active it becomes.
Is anybody else here trained in Arcana?
Shush is raring up and ready to blast that sucker the minute.
Graham will assist in your Arcana check.
Are you for real actually trained in Arcana?
No, he's not. He's like, yeah, that doohickey talks that stuff, right?
What?
Robot.
You roboted quite a bit there.
What is all I said was what?
That was not what we got out of that.
No, it came through almost like a whole sentence of robot language. It's great.
Freaking audio packets, man.
So yes, you can roll an Arcana check on this if you want. An 11. You're not quite sure. You've heard of crawling claws, but you know those usually need the hand of a murderer and a lot of necromantic magic. You have never heard of zombies, their pieces staying active after a zombie was killed.
Okay, alright. I guess we'll kill it. I almost want to keep it wrapped up or something.
Being an orc claw, you do not think you could safely keep this thing wrapped up, that it would claw its way out of whatever you put it in, unless you put it in a box or something.
Yeah, let's just kill it.
Okay.
Be careful, it could go for your eye.
You suggest killing it, and Shush just blasts a radiant bolt right into your hands. It narrowly misses you and just evaporates the hand. And then he looks at you happily. Alright, so you guys have eliminated these zombies. The running orc has fled to the east. What would you guys like to do?
To the west. To the necromancer.
To the west, says Graham. And he starts marching off.
Makes the potions.
Yes. Oh, hey, look at all that. So, you guys start heading to the west. You're not even 2 minutes into the woods, and you hear something approaching through the thickets. And it seems to be moving pretty quickly. Everybody gets sneaky again. You guys crouch down, start getting ready to be sneaky, and
Graham just motions as like, same plan.
out from the thicket comes what appears to be a skinny little man or a boy, maybe in his late teens. He's wearing a visored helmet. He's dressed in wealthy noble's clothing, but it's ripped and muddied and stained. He's wielding a sword and carries a small shield.
Graham goes to tackle him.
What?
Alright, so Graham leaps out from the woods, and the boy dodges and makes a riposte on you and actually stabs you.
Ow.
Oh man, I just rolled max damage on it for 8 points of damage. And then he looks at you on the ground and he says, Sir Graham? And he takes off his helmet and he says, thank the divine. And you recognize this young man immediately. This is Marlamir III, grandson of the Count.
He tried to tackle.
And he stabbed me.
He looks really worried.
Out of the way and showed you what for.
He looks really worried you might rip his arms off.
I see you got a little bit of your dad in you.
He kind of puts
Stabbing everything before you make contact with it.
Oh, if you're one to talk.
He does that thing that kids do and kind of puts a sword behind his back a little bit. And he's like, ha 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 ha! I'm glad you're here. And then several other faces pop out of the forest nearby from the thickets, whom almost all of them you recognize.
Almost?
Yeah. There's one in the group that you don't recognize. You recognize Jerome von Zarovich, Marlamir's younger brother. You recognize Baron-in-Waiting Esmond Callington, fifth, his younger brother, who is unliving. So he looks like he's undead, but he's the unliving race. His name is Marcus, and you recognize Razia Callington as well. The last child you don't recognize, but he's about 12, and he's better dressed than the rest.
Bard, your turn.
I guess we just bow.
Okay, so you guys just bow, And Marlemere looks at you and he scratches his head a little bit. He says, we need to keep moving. There's hundreds more back the way we've come. And these kids are tired. They look like they've been running for hours.
Where did you guys... What happened? What's going on?
He looks around and he's like, are we near anywhere safe that we can pause for a minute? I don't want to stop.
You're near us.
Well, let's go to the cave.
Oh, we could try that, yeah.
Okay. So you guys
Like 6 of them.
You head up to the cave, and the kids are looking around at the orc zombie bodies, and then you get up to the camp, and there's more bodies, and they're like, wow, they killed all these guys. And they're talking about it. And you ask what's going on, and Marlemere says, I'm not really sure. We were at the coronation. We arrived yesterday in the morning as planned, and the coronation was in the evening, and everything was fine and normal, and the ceremony had just finished and dinner was being prepared for when there was, I guess it had to have been magical. There was this magical pulse. It shook the entire castle. Castle Skystone, the walls buckled and parts of the ceiling began to collapse, and that's when the screaming started. Undead began crawling their way through any opening they could find in the castle. Our guards, ran us children to the emergency teleportation circle in the lower halls. We almost didn't make it. The guards didn't make it. I managed to grab the one's shield and sword as the things ripped him to pieces, and we jumped into the circle. But it didn't take us home. It spat us out in the woods south of the city on this side of the river, and we've been running ever since. That was almost 24 hours ago.
Do we have time for a short rest?
Marlemere would tell you no. He says he has just been barely able to keep the group ahead of the undead. The terrain has gotten rockier and rougher, and the undead don't do as well in it. He said, but zombies aren't the only things with them. Some of them are fast.
Okay, so do we have
where we pushed the rocks out of the way, can we go into there and rest? I suppose I would be trapped behind the zombies.
That's what I was trying to figure out how he would have communicated that to you. He would say, you don't understand how many are coming. They're endless.
Well, what you saw earlier that like every fire was everywhere, all over the horizon. So where do you suggest we go?
He doesn't know. The kid in him is starting to leak into the young adult. He's been strong and he's been brave for the younger ones. And you notice the same in Razia, too. She hasn't said much, but when she came out of the woods, she had a bow on you guys. She was ready to sink an arrow into somebody.
Okay.
But she hasn't said much. But now you can see that there are capable adults around, so he's starting to falter back into a more youthful state. However, he says, I think we should make for the wall, for the gates of Barovia. It's only another day and a half through the Misty Pass. If you say what you say is true and every city's on fire, where else could we go?
Whoa. We never said that the cities are on fire.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just said it like just a minute ago.
I didn't hear you. But I ignore most of what you say, so.
Grant's over here calling BS.
Is there anything in the camp that would or could make a makeshift sled or something that I could push the kids on or pull the kids on?
You could probably rig something up, but you couldn't rig something up to pull them all. They're older. I mean,
okay.
Marlemere's just turned 16. Jerome's 12. Razia's 14. The youngest is Marcus, the Unliving, and he's 9. And he's the only one who doesn't look tired. It's part of his racial feat.
Yeah.
What cart?
The cart that you said all the goods were on that the orcs brought from town.
I don't think I said there was a cart.
Oh, someone did.
I might have, but I would have done so by accident. There is no cart.
Okay.
Alright, well, are you guys strong enough to walk?
The kids nod. Marcus shrugs.
Whichever one is the tiredest, I will carry.
That would probably be Esmith the Fifth.
Okay,
Sure.
Esmith's being carried.
Okay.
Give him a rest while we move, and then we'll just kind of switch off and let the kids rest, and I'll carry
Okay. The next most tired is the kid you don't know.
Who is the kid I don't know? I just pointed at him with the sword. Who are you?
Oh, peasant. I'm Gabriel the Fifth, the next king.
This douchebag. Listen to
Douchebag.
it's going off. You made him like this.
You can't play that character right now.
Okay. We'll tell him that he's next. He can ride on the shoulders.
Oh,
If
I'll
that is
walk.
above his station.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Can I just make some advanced rolls to do some scouting and just make sure that whatever direction that we're headed in, like, we have some advanced warning if there's anything that we're going to come up to or come up.
Yeah, you can definitely get out in front of the party for a bit. Go ahead and give me 3 perception checks as you do that, and 3 stealth as well.
Ooh.
Well, you're hidden.
Yeah. The forest is pretty thick here. You do have a very hard time making anything out. You do at one point in time catch a glimpse of that orc still booking it through the woods way out ahead of you guys through a clearing.
I think I wanted nothing to do with what was going.
So you guys begin to make your way through the woods to the east then?
Yes.
Okay. You do have some time to chat as you're traveling.
You mean southeast?
Yeah, southeast. Down out of the hills. And Marlamir suggests you stay away from the roads. They seem to be choked more in the roads than anywhere else.
As we are walking, I just want to use minor illusion to put up a little road sign that says humans pointing in the opposite.
Oh my gosh.
Excellent use.
It was such a good road sign that Graham almost followed it.
Graham was trying to figure out why they would advertise where humans were. Like, that's a horrible defense against zombies.
Those humans, they're gonna get eaten.
Graham doesn't care about that.
It's so funny. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about or get a question in on or anything like that before we move on?
Did anyone ask about? I know they said that the guards who were kind of escorting them didn't make it, but I don't remember anyone in the group asking if they knew what happened to anyone else, or were they just separated from, like all the other adults that weren't mentioned? They
were separated from the other adults. They still had a decent table on a platform. They were separated from them. As you ask that, to the best of what they can remember, is most of the other guards in the building began fighting right away. Marlamir tells you that Dad and Grandpa turned into werewolves and started tearing through the undead. Lady Kane exploded in light and flattened a huge area of them, and then just kind of dove into the crowd and started chopping things to pieces.
Typical.
Gabriel...
They're like 65, 70-year-old, just running it.
Prince Gabriel looks very sad at one moment, and says that they all watched the roof come down on the king and queen. So they don't know what happened there. But they were present at the banquet when everything went to crap.
So he thinks his parents are dead.
That, from the look of his face, you probably don't even need to roll an insight on that.
So sad.
In Mars' voice, I'll just say, "We trust the king." It was one of the first things I heard Count Marlamir say.
He looks at you, and you would have, honestly, guys probably would have spent quite a bit of time with Marlamir III. Him being younger, he would have been training with weapons and things like that. Out of all of the nobility at Castle Argynvost, him and Jerome would have probably been the most common for you guys to run into. And so at that point in time, he'd kind of just hug Shush.
I'll let him.
And he'd squeeze you, and he'd bump into something hard in your feathers. And he'd look at you really weird. And it'd be like at chest level, so it's not too weird. But he'd tap it a little bit. And he'd just look at you and say, "You're strange."
Do I know what's in there?
Your egg?
Oh, hey, I forgot that was in there. Yeah.
So funny. Your parrot's an egg that you hijacked.
I'm keeping it warm.
For an omelet.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else you guys want to know? All right.
Who activated the teleportation circle?
It is activated by anybody who's attuned to it. And the children are all attuned to the emergency teleportation
Did the
circles.
zombies follow them through?
No. They said when they got out into the woods, they were already surrounded by zombies, and they were able to make a break through a gap in them as they closed in on them and started running. They were already everywhere in the woods.
Okay.
Were the zombies local or were they summoned?
They have no idea.
You didn't recognize anybody?
They're orcs.
And people.
They would tell you the ones at Castle Skystone were not orcs. They were people, and they were older. They weren't fresh zombies like the orc ones you guys just killed.
Okay. Are our orcs in the encampment still dead?
They are.
It's not like they're not coming alive.
Not yet.
Yeah, but are they gonna?
Is this like a Walking Dead situation where you die once and you come back?
I feel like he can't properly answer that question because we won't allow it.
I need to go let me know. I'll be right back.
Did you say because we won't allow it?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Just from a gameplay perspective, who has rank in our group of 4?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably none of you.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Then here's what I'm gonna do. God, I'm just gonna ask Graham, even though he walked away. I'm gonna just ask him where he thinks we should head to in Barovia, since we're just going in that direction. Like, where are we gonna go after we get to Barovia? Like, where are we gonna start? Like, where's our destination?
Well, you guys would know. Graham would know this too, even with his lesser than average intelligence, that the eastern wall blocks the entire Misty Pass, and it curves up into the mountains, mountainsides a bit. So, the safest place past the wall would probably be the Abbey, and then past that it would be Castle Argynvost.
Yeah.
But the Abbey's not what it used to be. I mean, it's been run by a bunch of druids and very, like, you don't want to call them cultists, by a religious sect that was very influenced by the Grave Domain. So it's not the fortress it once could have been or was. But the city of Kresk is walled. So,
right.
At least the inner city of it. It's a much larger town than it was 40 years ago, so there's a lot of buildings outside of the walls, but the inner city's walled.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to enter into a skill challenge then. That's why I wanted to get all the talking out of the way, as you guys try and make your way through the woods quickly with the children, with the undead hot on your heels. As you come out of the orc camp and you begin to make your way down the cliff sides, you do see them. Not so much like making eye contact, see them, but there are things stumbling through the underbrush and pushing through thickets right at the edge of what you can see in the woods. So they're close, and the kids look nervous. Marlemere says that this is the closest that they've been in some time, other than the orcs that you guys cut off from them.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I guess maybe part of or before we do our skill checks, I want to use my ball bearings to maybe slow the progress of our pursuers.
Okay. There's a couple of decent places on this path down the cliffs that you could do that in and find a good effect on, where they wouldn't just get smushed into the dirt.
Okay.
Can I use survival to hide our tracks?
That's going to be part of the skill challenge. I was about to ask you guys what you as characters would like to be doing while you're trying to flee this.
So I'd like to mask our tracks, and then probably drop blood in different directions.
Okay.
Depending on, Graham knows this is how zombies track their prey, is through blood. And he is adamant about that's how you defend against it.
Right on. Right on, Graham. So then give me 3 survival rolls. Actually, we'll do them one round at a time. Give me a survival roll as you do this. Oh.
Oh.
It's not so good. Who else wants to add to the check here?
I mean, well, he already used that. I don't know. I mean, I would like to be focusing on keeping the kids entertained and in good spirits by, like, just kind of creative uses of different things. So I don't know if that would really help.
No, that helps.
Sign.
Keeping the kids moving is definitely helpful to this. So, what would you like to do? Would you like to use your bardic abilities and singing or storytelling?
Yeah, combination. I don't necessarily want to like be loud about it.
Correct.
But just like creative uses of minor illusion to like just show like. I mean, I know it's not a complicated illusion, but just like.
Adam.
Yeah.
What if you use your minor illusion to kind of like you did with that sign before, just keep them focused on something ahead that they have to like make it like a game, something that they have to pick.
That's what I was thinking about having it be something where they're focused on getting like moving forward.
Yeah, perfect. It keeps the kids moving quickly. So you can go ahead and make a performance check for that then, as you use your illusion and your abilities to do that. Ooh, that's solid. Nice.
Dang.
All right. Shush, what are you up to?
I'm following the illusion.
Shush is playing with the children and beating them, and they don't like it. So
I'm good at stealth. I'm good at perception. And I'm okay at acrobatics. As far as like adding it to any of this, I would say if I can get a better vantage point, and maybe do a little bit of monkeying and get a better eye ahead for Rudy.
okay.
Because I know he's getting the low. I'd like to take the high using my stealth, perception, or acrobatics or combination of the.
I was gonna say I could work with him on all three of those, so that we have good success between the two of us.
Okay. Then since you guys are going to partner at that, you can roll at advantage on those then.
I'm double proficient in perception and stealth, and proficient in acrobat.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but if you want to watch behind us to see how close or far they are, and
I am fast. I could catch up, so that's not a bad idea.
And so that we can deviate our course if necessary, so that they're not right
Rudy,
behind
you go
us.
out front, and I'll stick to the back and like relay with loud bird noises how close they're getting, like kind of a sonar alarm.
Then I'm gonna give Shush my ball bearings so that he can drop them, because I don't think that's gonna be like dropping them is gonna be skill based. Since he's gonna be in the rear, it makes sense for him to.
Okay. So you communicate to Shush that that's what you're doing. Then I need perception rolls from both of you guys. Since you are in separate places, this isn't at advantage.
Okay.
Nice job, sir.
All right. So you guys combined total skill check averaged out on your rolls came in at 18. You scored an 18. That is pretty darn good. So what is happening is that's a partial success in this round of the skill challenge. Because of what Shush is doing and the skill at which Shush is doing it, you often see where the undead are pushing forward through easier pieces of the woods behind you, and so you are able to let your group know to move away from it, and in the direction you're going, Rudy navigates you through medium terrain. He doesn't take the easiest path because that's where the undead are probably going to flow to next. He takes you on paths that are easy for you but will slow the undead down. Graham is wandering around the woods cutting himself everywhere.
Yep.
You don't know if it's helping or not, but and Argrix is using his illusionary skills to give the kids direction, and they have taken it up to be some sort of a game, and they are enjoying it to some degree. So you can see that it keeps their mind off of what's behind them, and you guys make pretty good progress here. So you've made it down.
The first time I ever envisioned a player character being a cultist.
You've made.
No, Graham.
Oh,
Putting to himself everywhere through the woods.
Yes.
And then they will walk over here as I cut myself.
Oh, devil, draw these zombies to me.
So let's enter another round in this. You've come down out of the cliffside of the mountains on this, and you're getting closer to the southern road. And Marlemere wasn't kidding. From a few vantage points that you get, the roads do look clogged with zombies. But you know you could make due east from here to the Misty Pass. So we'll need another round of these checks if you'd like to change tactics now that you're in a different terrain. It's still forested, but it's much flatter than it was. You can change tactics if you wish.
I'll stay the same.
Graham is going to continue to try to disguise their trail and mislead.
Okay.
I think we'll just stay the same.
Well, that's much better, Graham.
He does what he can.
All right.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
The kids are tired of your game.
Yeah, clearly. I am also.
I note to self, Graham needs to suck so that everybody else doesn't.
All right. You guys don't do nearly as well this time around with an average of 50, total of 57. So your average is less than 15. So this time around, you guys, the undead have caught up to you, or you probably more run into a pocket of them. They have seen you. I need you to attempt to flee. And so we need to make acrobatics checks or athletics checks as you flee through the woods. Not bad. And we'll make one for the kids. Oh, that's terrible. Most of the rolls are successes, though. So what happens is the kids are lagging behind in this. They are obviously overcome with exhaustion. They're just tired. They've been running for over a day, and Marcus and Gabriel fall behind the group, and it looks like one of the zombies is going to claw at them. Now,
Marcus or Marlemere?
What?
Marcus or Marlemere?
Marcus.
Which one is that?
Marcus is the unliving one. It looks like he was actually trying to help Gabriel, because Marcus isn't tired. He can force march unlimitedly, indefinitely. That's the word I was looking for.
Graham will go to the back to help the kids along and protect them.
Okay. So the kids as a group have a hit point total, and they can, during tonight's game, take damage, and they can die. Certain of these children can be killed. Actually, all of them are pretty fair game because it's my future and I can write it the way I want. And your characters in the past no longer need Rasia to succeed, so I could off her too if I wanted to. But if you guys want, you can take the damage for them. However, it will be doubled for you.
Okay. I will take the damage.
I missed it. What the last IDC and the last I heard was most of those are successes. So what happens is
sorry, the kids fall behind and get attacked. And the explanation, you guys can choose to take the damage for them when they get hit.
I got that part.
Okay, you got that part. Cool. All right, so Andy, you are going to take 8 points of damage as a ghoul actually comes sprinting out of the woods and makes a lunge for Prince Gabriel, and you get in the way. You manage to kill it, but it tears into you before you get a chance to down it. And
I'm also going to pick up Gabriel and beeline it.
All right. So you guys run further down into the woods, and the mist begins to pile up. It gets thicker. You've now been running from the undead for about 8 hours. So you guys are getting to the point where you're getting tired as well. You'd like to start the woods on fire?
I have 10 torches, and I would like to just be dropping them behind me.
Okay.
Not bad. I mean, it's probably not good, but it's not bad.
I just want you to know that, according to the zombie survival guide, fire doesn't kill zombies, it just makes flaming zombies.
Right, but it might slow them down a little. So, I want to start the woods on fire. The rest of the woods is on fire. I'm okay with this part of the woods also being on fire.
You do manage to set a portion of the woods on fire with the 120 I rolled in that bunch. So, there's that. The woods and a piece of the forest are now on fire. You've picked up one of the children. The kids technically all now have 2 levels of exhaustion as far as game mechanics goes. You guys are creeping up on you will soon have a level of exhaustion because now you're moving into forced march, but you have hit the edge of the Misty Pass.
So how much further do we have to go?
Well, you know that the gate is a day and a half's travel from here, so you're likely either going to have to push through and risk complete collapse, because once you start going into exhaustion at a forced march, it's going to multiply. You will have to find some time or somewhere or somehow to rest in this. You do know that the Wizard's Tower is at the halfway point. There are also other buildings along the way as well. There's the place where you guys stopped, the Misty Pine where you rested. On the way, that should only be... That's a 4 hours walk from the edge of the Misty Pass, so you're not far from there.
Well, yeah, we're not far, but we're being chased by zombies, so we're going to need to get an 8-hour lead on these guys.
Or figure something out.
Yeah, not necessarily an 8-hour lead, but we're going to have to, find someplace or something that might be a good hiding spot or overlooked easily.
We need to find somewhere that we can barricade ourselves in and protect us from the zombies that we can get out of in a different location, so we're not trapped on the first floor.
Where are we compared to when we first found that parrot and
You're real close to where they were first spotted, so
Let's
you know
go
that's a
there.
long ways away.
Oh.
And to the north.
You know, that mountainside would be very difficult for a zombie to traverse.
We can go over the mountains rather than through them.
Yeah, but we also have, 4 kids? 5 kids?
5 kids.
And we have no cold weather gear.
We don't need it.
To go over a mountain?
Oh, I'm fluffy enough. We'll be fine.
We don't all carry eggs in our stomach.
Maybe you should. Maybe you'd survive the cold.
You know, I wish we could. That'd be breakfast every day.
Sorry, you have 6 children with you.
But we have 6 kids who are 5 kids who are bordering on exhaustion. I guess the living one is going to have to worry about that. The rest of them definitely do. So we can't be climbing mountains with exhausted.
And to be clear, Marcus will get levels of exhaustion. He just won't get it from forced march. He'll get it from being awake for 2 days straight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, unless we can all hide in the trees and sleep, I think the tower probably sounds like our best bet.
Agreed.
Yeah, I guess.
Or either Shush or I spots a cave that we can somehow barricade.
Wait a minute.
At night.
The Mage Tower? How far away is that?
He said it's halfway.
Are we attuned to that?
You are not, no.
Sorry, let me rephrase that.
I'm sorry, Adam, we lost you.
Teleportation circle.
You know that the children probably would not be attuned to that teleportation circle. You guys definitely aren't. And you'd need to be in a teleportation circle to use it. You also know that teleportation magic in the last 40 years has become real sketchy.
Okay.
A lot of people think it has something to do with massive interference in the way the Far Realm works. That happened about that time. And its influence in the daily lives of magic users everywhere.
Is that one also not your fault, Gabe?
That was not my fault at all. I didn't initiate contact with the Far Realm.
Yeah, you did.
Nope. I was sitting on the other side of the portal.
Okay, Randy, you didn't initiate contact with it, but you did get contact with the farm.
So,
I was like, were you there at that battle? Nope, that wasn't me. Nope, that was not me. That was someone who looked like me, but it was not me.
Nope, I was in a bubble there, but not participating.
I was sleeping in my bed.
I would say that the Wizard Tower might provide a good stopping point to protect us all from, but it's not a fortification. But they might have an idea of what's going on.
Hey, Mike, we didn't use any of my ball bearings to drop behind us, did we?
No, you didn't. You didn't roll in such a way that where they would have been useful, so you still have them.
Okay.
I have them, and they're shiny.
I am taking them back from you because we're probably going to use them in the mage tower.
How far is the mage tower from us? A couple hours?
It's probably about 10 hours still.
Jeez, holy cow. Well, I guess that we just head that way, and unless somebody's got a better idea, we just, worry about the exhaustion when we get there.
We could light more of the wood.
You don't think you'll have as much success in the Misty Pass lighting them on fire. This pass is extraordinarily humid. It's damp here all the time.
I've done everything.
Did we pass through the gate yet?
No. The gate's at the other end.
How far is the gate from us?
That's a day and a half's travel.
Oh! Okay, I was thinking that the mage tower was on the other side of the gate.
No, the Mage Tower is on this side of the gate. Gabriel put it right between New Barovia and the Stolregards. And it's at the halfway point between the two states.
Alright, so I guess we just head to
Is there anything else in this pass?
Yeah, there's a couple of stops along the way. There's a few inns and taverns along the road. There are no other major structures. Its reputation is not real well received because it's just creepy here all the time. It's foggy, it's damp, it's big looming trees, but some very entrepreneurial folk have established a few stopping points for travelers.
We might want to stop and warn them.
Yes, that. Let's let Rudiger scout ahead for that.
All right, so you guys...
Wait, what are we doing?
There's a few small, not even settlements, but like way stops, inns and stuff on the way between us here and the mage tower. So you might want to stop and warn them.
Isn't that out of the way, like to the south of our position?
No, you're about to head into the Misty Pass. It's pretty much a straight shot east from here. There's maybe a mile of forest on the north and the south side of the road, and that's it.
Okay, so it's on the way as we travel.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will do anything necessary.
Okay. Barovia effect. Yes, Rudy, the Barovia effect. As a matter of fact, the Barovia effect increases somewhat as you guys plunge into the Misty Pass. You've traveled this road maybe 24 times in the years of living in Barovia and as Knights of Argynvost, at least at different degrees. You've made trips to the Mage Tower. You've made trips into Setnovia proper. You know about the Misty Pass. I mentioned before that the Knights help keep it clear. The fog and the mist usually doesn't spill all the way down into the valley floor the way it is today. And when it does, it doesn't normally do more than form up about a foot tall or a thin fog you can see a good distance in. You are lucky if you can see 20 feet in front of you. It is so thick.
Well, that's exactly how it was here this morning, actually.
That might help us, actually. That might help give us some distance between us and the undead. We know the area well enough to where we have a good idea, at least, of where we're going without being necessarily seen.
Normally you'd be able to say that. If you want to head for the road, you could easily follow the road. You feel at this point just by the feel of what's underneath you. But if you want to stick in the woods, that's going to be harder because the sky it's night now. It's getting on into the evening. It's getting darker. You're going to lose all sense of direction here very soon.
We might want to head to the road.
Okay. Weren't the roads infested with undead?
No, we were
on the other side of the pass.
Fair enough.
Or on the other side of the wall, right, Mike?
You haven't made it to the wall yet.
Did you say we saw undead, like, all the way, though, when we were able to catch glimpses before, or just, like, south of the portion where we were?
It looked like the undead were clogging the roads near where you were at. It didn't look like out to the east on the road down into the Misty Pass that they had made it that far yet. But they, like you, make better time on the road, and they were headed that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the issue. We can either stay in the forest slower, but somewhat safer, but slower. Or we can move to the roads where we have an idea of even what direction we're even going. We could end up walking around in circles in the forest if we stay in the forest slowly, going slow circles, which isn't going to help us. If we get to the road, yeah, the zombies that are chasing us are going to be faster, but there's more zombies here that are just chasing us.
To the road it is.
Do any of the children have any abilities that they're privy?
A couple of them. Razia is becoming skilled with weaponry. She's not quite proficient yet. Marlamir is proficient with weapons. He would qualify as close to a level 1 fighter at this point in time. The others are still commoner level. Prince Gabriel would tell you that he's studying to be a wizard, but Dad hasn't taught him a lot of stuff yet. He can prestidigitate some things.
I was thinking maybe his dad taught him how to make a hut.
Oh no, that's like a level 5 spell.
Well, you never know. So
You never know.
Had to ask, right?
So to the road it is then. All right. So you make your way southeast as near as you can guess through the woods as the fog thickens towards where the road will be. You do manage to pick it out. The fog is just thin enough to where when you're on the road, you can see the tree line on either side of it. So if you stand dead center in the road, it's about 20 feet to either side and you can make out the trees. So you chug down the road for a pretty good ways, about another 3-4 hours, when you catch a sign for the Misty Pine Tavern. This is the inn that you guys stopped at on your way down here. As you catch the sign, you hear it more than you see it, but off to the east there is a bright shining light for about 5-10 seconds, and then you hear what sounds like thunder, but it is only one blast, one rumble, and it's so loud it hits you with force to the point where you almost feel like it was strong enough to maybe cause damage if you were closer.
Nuke it from orbit.
Did you say, so we saw a light, did it come from the ground or did it descend from the sky?
It was more in the sky, but it wasn't like straight up above you, like out in space sky, more like the horizon line.
And we saw that through the fog.
It was hard to make out, but the fog on that side definitely, you watched it lighten for about 5 seconds, and then you felt the blast.
But we don't recognize what that is, if that's a magical phenomena or if that was something else.
You would only assume it was a magical phenomenon.
Would that force have moved the fog by chance?
You did feel a whoosh of air, and the fog did swirl, but the fog is still present.
Okay.
It basically pushed out fog to bring in fog.
Oh, good. More fog.
That's way past the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll stop at the inn and see if there's anyone alive here.
All right. So you guys make your way down the path towards the Misty Pine Inn, and the lights are out and the doors are closed.
I'll sneak up to one of the windows and kind of peek inside.
Are the doors locked?
The door is actually standing ajar.
Someone should shout into it.
No, I want to get outside a window first and peer inside.
Make a perception check at disadvantage because of the thickness of the fog. That's pretty solid. You do see 2 people behind the bar in the tavern.
Are they moving?
They are moving.
Like people moving or zombie moving?
It's hard to tell. The windows here are pretty grimy.
Okay. How far away from me are they?
They're pretty far. Let me...
Like 20 feet?
I have a map of this place. Let me pop it open for you. You guys have been here plenty of times, so you know the layout of the grounds really well.
Okay.
You're by the door. The only 2 windows for this place on the ground floor are on either side of the doors.
Oh, okay.
Mike, can I sneak in and just try to get a better look?
Yeah. You definitely can sneak in and try and get a better look. Make a perception check for me. You can make it normal now. DC's pretty low now that you're inside.
Hang on, my fantasy round's froze.
Oh, bummer.
So the inn is the tavern, with the housing out back?
Yeah, it's more of a tavern and cottages.
Sure. Okay.
And you guys all stayed, well, you guys didn't. You stayed in pup tents, but the uppity-ups all stayed in the cottages when you came through here a few days back. All right, perception, that's good enough. You see 3 individuals inside the area. There are 2 behind the bar, and there is one, looks like it's fumbling at the door back there, trying to get in, but it doesn't seem to be able to.
Outside the door?
That door.
Oh, okay, but I don't see what they are. I only see, like, figures.
You see figures. It's completely, you're dark in here. You don't have dark vision as a halfling, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Can I get within 20 feet of them, Mike?
Yeah.
I would like to use the ring of detect emotions on those 3.
On those 3. All right, you pop the ring of detect emotions. You detect everybody's emotions when you use
20
the sucker.
feet, but I wanted to be within 20 feet of those 3 creatures.
They are hungry. That is the only emotion coming from those 3. On the other side of the door, you detect complete and utter terror.
Okay, and these look like human zombies then, eh?
They do. As near as you guys can tell, because it's pitch black.
Yeah, I'm gonna motion to not Gabe, gosh darn it, Graham, to come forward, and when he comes by me, I'm gonna do that whole slap him on the butt thing as I pull out my moon sword, which will be glowing in the darkness, and shove him forward towards the zombies.
You said it's pitch black in here?
It
Not
is.
anymore.
Well, yeah. Shush just pulled out his glowing sword, so now there is enough light to qualify this area as dimly lit. Except for right by Shush.
Yep, then I'll goose Graham and kick him forward.
All right, well, that's initiative, so you guys go ahead and roll that, and I will bring up our encounter.
And Adam goes last.
Hot dog, you guys.
You're like a wind-up toy for me, Graham.
Why should this season be any different, Adam?
I would just like to point out that I am rolling roughly 2.5 times higher than anyone.
That's true. You're now getting to at least 10.
I'm getting double digits on my rolls.
Yeah.
And that's not with advantage.
All right, so you guys...
possibly get like 13s.
You guys
I got a 13 last one.
do manage to completely outroll the zombies. So,
Looking at them now, do any of them look familiar as people that work here, or do they
Yes.
look like travelers?
they all look like people that worked here.
Roof.
That sucks.
How long does this last, this detect emotions thing?
It's a burst.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I'm going to move forward my 30 feet, and I'm going to rage, and then I'm going to huck a javelin.
Did Shush and I just get skipped?
Oh, I guess I don't go first. Oh, fine. Go. Do what you want. It just moved to me, so...
I moved it to you because I was like, oh, I guess we're starting there. So
I did goose him and shove him forward, so it made sense.
It did, and that's why I thought we were going to roll with. But initiative-wise, Shush, you are up.
Oh, crap.
So as a free action, you slap Graham on the butt.
Yep, so slap him, and then I will move, here. No, that's not going to work. I'm gonna hop on this table, and I'm a Radiant Bolt, the one trying to get in the door.
Okay. You unleash a Radiant Bolt, blast that sucker pretty hard, and it turns and it starts to focus on you and no longer on the door.
Okay, I'm going to use a key point and send 2 more of those its way. Oh, no. Oh, wow. All right.
Zombies, man. They're almost impossible not to hit. Well, there you go.
Hey,
That's how you do it. That nat 1 right there will do it.
And then followed up with a 16. And then can I put my weight on this table to kind of pull it towards me to use it for cover?
Oh, you want to flip it on end?
Yeah, towards me.
No.
Unfortunately, you're just too fluffy.
I am.
It would just require an action. You could pop it up, but you wouldn't be able to hold it up unless you had an action. It would
I
just
just
pop
wanted to
back
flip
down.
it.
It would just tumble back down.
Redigar.
It will be in a second. I need an opposed deception check from Zombie 1.
Where's my clippy tool? Just so you might.
Roll 20?
I did, sure did.
What's it? Is it plus anything? Does that mean I win?
You still win, but it's just nice to see.
That's epic. Great. Okay. So I have insightful fighting, so I'll get my sneak attack damage on him for a full minute.
All right. Cool. All right. So you put it down. You exceeded it, but okay. That's not an easy save for me. That ain't gonna make it. You put that one to the ground.
Why is it 46? I'm so confused. How did you do that damage?
Oh yeah. How did you do 46?
I don't know.
Did it think you had
Well, it's 2d6 from...
sneak attack?
Yeah, it's 2d6 from sneak attack and just 1d6 plus 5. Where did...
You had two. No, you had
Wait,
two
did it
effects
crit?
at 2d6. You put two effects at 2d6.
Oh, whoops. The last one must have never came off.
Okay. I will give him back.
God.
You still will have killed him. The result's the same.
Okay.
But it was a lot closer, though. He almost got up. And that
Okay.
will bring up Graham. Graham, make a perception check for me before you rush into combat.
What's that?
Graham needs to make a perception check. Graham, you hear something outside.
Graham's gonna poke his head outside real quick.
You hear the kids, and the kids start pointing at this thing. I need to get a kids token on here. We'll use this. No, it's not Bonkers. Get Bonkers out of there.
Bonkers shows up. You will all die.
The combat tractor. The kids prepare to attack, and you see another zombie shuffling down the path from the stable area.
Well, in that case, my turn continues the same way it was going to. He lets out a yell, recklessly charges, and attempts to lop off the zombie's head.
I goosed you in the other direction, mister.
There's a zombie
I got
right in
you.
the
I got
kids.
you. We got this. Shush, it's fine.
Look at that!
Man,
Dude.
you have been hot with those double sixes tonight on that greatsword. So you rush
I love the
in,
great sword. It is an amazing weapon.
and you put a ton of damage onto the zombie.
And it was funny you said that. I meant to say this, Tony, to you before, too. You would not believe how many times the phrase shush, 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 shush just ran through my head in the last
My wife says it to me now all the time.
It was just so funny how you did it last week. It was like, seriously, it was perfect.
I'm gonna. Can I tell where the kids are on the initiative?
Yep, they're right there. Hold on, I didn't turn them on.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I am going to. Granny screwed everything up. I'm gonna tell the kids to come in.
Okay.
And when they come in.
When they come in, what? You cut out.
He's gonna cast a
Sorry.
terrifying image in their head.
Sorry. When they come in, I'm going to hold my action. When they come in, I'm going to cast a cloud of daggers on the doorway.
That is a 10-foot wide doorway. Cloud of Daggers is only 5 feet. It's double doors.
Can I put it in the middle?
Yes, you would be able to theoretically put it in the middle, but no, game mechanically you can't. You got to pick a square.
Alright, well then never mind. I'm not gonna...
Otherwise, you're covering a 10-foot area, not a 5-foot area.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was only a 5-foot doorway, but I see that now. It's a double door. So never mind. I'll have the kids come in and I will go meet.
Wait, why don't you just cast Shift Grid Square as a bonus act?
Shift
Because I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Alright, so I'm going to tell the kids to come inside now.
Okay. Oh, you lucky duck. I only rolled a 4 on that. So that one stays down. You rush out there, hack into that zombie, knock it to the ground, and make sure it stays dead.
I just looked at the combat tracker and I knew that said Children of the Corn. I got really nervous.
Thank you. That is the pun that I was going for. That's the title of this chapter, or the last chapter of the adventure. When you meet the kids,
awesome.
Children of the Crown.
That's great. Okay. And then I will also make my way back inside.
Okay. Use the rest of your movement to run back inside.
And that's it.
And the kids will run inside and go over to here. And Razia is going to shoot her bow at the zombies. And miss pretty terribly. Not epically terribly, but right next door. And these two zombies will crawl over the bar using double movement to do so. And then this one will still shuffle towards Rudy. Where's the squares? You're not in the square. That's what's screwing me up.
I'm just chilling at the table.
He is going to attempt to smash you, and he will. I got a 20 on the dice. So he will pound you for 7 points of damage. That is maximum damage. So as he grabs you, he's going to make a secondary attack. Does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
And he will bite you as well for 2. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay? And so you were hit for a total of 9 damage.
Yep, got it.
Alright, the other guy does the same thing except he heads towards Shush and can't quite make it far enough to attack, so he dashes and ends his turn right next to Shush. So they've crawled over the bar in the tavern and they're starting to attack you guys. Which brings us to Shush's turn.
Let's see. I'm going to hit this one with my staff. No, my sword. That'll do, donkey.
Hot dog. And you critically smack this sucker. Decent amount of damage. And then turn around and punch it. So you punch it and thwop it with your staff for a total of 19.
Oh, I totally forgot to target him.
It's all good. It's easy enough to type in. Anything else?
No, I think that'll be good.
Okay. Rudy, you're up.
Alright, so you're going to be able to reach the one that's by me?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
So you take a swing at that one there as he's next to you?
Nope, the one that's by Shush.
Oh, so you shoot the one over by Shush. Nice.
And I'm going to disengage and move.
Ooh, and that's a nat 1. This guy's not getting up. Those orcs were good at it. These innkeepers, they're lazy zombies. And so then you disengage and blast away?
Yep.
Alright. So that's going to bring us to Graham. Graham, you're currently outside the inn.
He's going to get to there, and he's going to grab his enchanted hand axe and chuck it right into the zombie.
Nice.
I don't know if there's any extra properties to that.
There's not. It just is magical for the effect of overcoming magical resistance.
Okay. And that is all I shall do.
So you thunk a good, solid hand axe right into that zombie's skull. And it's Argrax's turn.
What?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Does an 8 really hit it?
Get epic.
An 8 really hits it. That is its AC.
Guys, we're on a whole different level of play.
So I saw 17 of the dice. Yeah.
Yep. So Argrax runs up, jumps on top of a table, and lays 2 heavy swings into this zombie, hurting it pretty badly.
Yeah. And then I'm going to, 1 second, I've never done this, so I need to reread it. I'm going to use Blink for it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I am going to, okay. Oh, lame. Okay, so I do an extra 2 damage to the zombie.
Okay.
And I also gain 2 AC
Nice.
till the start of.
All right. Well, you do 2 extra damage to the zombie, and that is enough to topple it over. However,
You gotta be kidding me.
it is. It's right on the nose, so the DC for it getting back up is very low. And a nat 20 is definitely going to get it back up.
Oh, stupid.
So it does come back up. That's so funny. All right, so the children, Razia will shoot a second arrow at that zombie and miss. She's just no good with that bow. The other kids are cowering in between the tables, and Marlamir is standing defense with his sword. So Zombie 2 is going to attempt to attack Argrax, and that's another nat 1 for me tonight. Followed by a 16 for recovery, so I'm okay. But that brings up Shush. The zombie fumbles around terribly after just having its head smashed to the floor, and is incapable of landing a blow. Shush blasts it with another radiant beam.
I don't like that.
I love that thing. I'm totally
That's
going to...
one of the new creatures.
from...
The strongholds.
Oh, I cannot wait to use that on somebody.
Right?
And I think that'll be my turn.
Alright, so Shush blasts it with a radiant beam, and that ends his turn. Rudy, you're up.
I am going to pull a dagger out of my waistline and chuck it right at its...
Do it.
Can't believe that actually worked.
Zombies. Zombies dumb. Alright, so...
And I'm going to recover my dagger if it actually goes down.
Alright. So the zombie topples over, and it does not get back up. Because there's another one tonight. Oh man, they're just everywhere. So,
I knew you meant there's another zombie.
oh no,
Yeah,
another. There is another nat 1 tonight. So you guys have cleared the inn. You do hear somebody crying. It sounds like it's coming from the other side of that door.
We should probably secure or make sure that these doors are all secured.
Do the hands move on these guys?
Yes, they do start to twitch after a little while. Shush, knowing what's coming, begins to just start running around and roasting the zombie corpses to make sure that they don't stand back up. Or that the arms don't become alive and become crawling claws.
Hey, Graham, do you want to come help me barricade this door?
Yeah.
Mike, is the door at the back of the inn locked?
It does have a deadbolt slider on it that is currently engaged.
Okay.
Can we prop some chairs up to this and then slide some of the benches and stuff?
Yeah, slide the tables and the chairs up to
Yeah.
the doors.
Absolutely. You guys can barricade the door.
I'm going to slide a note under the door saying that all the creepy things are dead.
You hear the door unlock, and there is another child standing there. He's about 6 years old. He looks at you, and he starts to scream, and then he puts his hand over his mouth, and he breathes a little bit. He looks around. He sees the dead zombies, and he starts to cry.
I'll hug him.
And he hugs you back, and he says, "Mr. Chicken, I can't read, but I figured they can't write."
I will mimic whoever said that Graham can't read. And I'll just point to the big dumb one.
He just breaks down, and he's sobbing. He said,
I will hand him to the other children.
I just picture this giant owl Kenku just carrying this small boy across the room, like you carry a dog that's peeing everywhere.
Like you've been bad boy. Bad.
And then I'll go investigate that room.
It is a small bedroom that leads down to a small cellar that's got a lot of casks and stuff in it for wine. There's some food stores down there. There's another 2 cots, little small side table. There's not much down here at all.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was clear, make sure there was nothing in it.
No, there is nothing in it.
Is there a this is an inn.
This is a tavern with cottages out back. So it functions like an inn, but it's not one building.
Is there any like dried food stuffs here, or is it just like?
No, down in the cellar where Shush just was. There's some food down there.
Okay, so we should hold up here for the time being. We should all get some rest. Maybe even send the kids downstairs, have them eat, and then we will even maybe board up the windows with these tables.
Yeah, I think doing whatever we can just to secure this space, even though it's probably going to be a little bit less comfy. I was thinking of that too, and we can take watches. I've got a bedroll that someone can use. I won't use it personally because I'd rather take a watch.
I am an excellent cook. I will go make some food for the kids.
Are you?
The best part about him saying that is, Graham, is we never know if we should believe him or not, because he is good at some things.
Mediocre.
Luckily, most of the food is dried goods and stuff you just add water to, so it's pretty hard to screw up. The little boy, Jerry for short, he helps. He says, I watched my mom do this a lot.
I ask him if he has any nails in the tavern.
He goes over behind some stuff and he pulls out his dad's toolbox, and there is a sizable amount of hardware in there.
I would like to board up the windows using nails.
Hey, before we do that, let's take
On
these
the
corpses outside.
if possible.
Sure. So you can take the corpses outside. You dump them all outside. Make perception checks for me while you're out there.
From all of us?
Just Agrix and Graham as they're throwing bodies out the door. Argrix, you hear another one of those explosions, and the sky to the east lights up again while you're out there.
I wonder, is that towards...
Barovia.
I mean, it's definitely towards Barovia, but does it look like that's coming from...
Is it Crest?
This side or the other side of the wall?
In the fog, with how thick the fog is, it is extraordinarily hard to judge.
I wonder if that's some of the druids who are trying to defend against these guys.
Or the Mage's Tower. Its defense is going off.
Yeah.
Arcane explosions like that usually don't come from druids.
Well, if it's a lightning bolt, it would be.
Yeah, but we were already told it's basically not a lightning bolt.
What if it's a lightning bolt into a gallon of gasoline or something like that? Then there's an explosion.
Gallon of gasoline. But
Andy, can you always play Graham, please? Everybody's like, what is gasoline? And you're like, oh, don't you wish you knew? And wanders off with a wet piece of beef jerky.
So, there's an old barbarian tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys spend some time. You secure the inn as best you can, and you get everybody settled in for a rest. Correct?
I'd also like to kind of organize I would ask those with better tactics than me how we could organize the tables so that we could kind of funnel, if we were to be attacked to the front doors, the zombies into like a path that could be like, so that they're not able to just run all in.
Are there raptors here?
Are there raptors? Or rafters? I thought you said raptors.
Tables on either side of that line, just to run them away from our end.
So basically, there'd be tables. This
Yeah,
is what
how
you'd
do
be
we-
thinking now?
How do we play tower defense with the zombies?
Yes.
This is how.
I'm serious though. Are there rafters?
There are rafters here.
Can we put some of the tables in the rafters to make sort of a second story that we can sit on?
Oh my gosh, we'd have to hoist them up there.
Look at the tall, strong guy with the thick legs as big as my head.
That would
That
would actually be pretty hard.
Them up there, but we have no.
I have rope.
I have rope.
You lost your rope.
I did not.
You did so.
I never used my rope. I had no reason to.
Two of us don't have rope.
Sure.
One of those was the dwarf dude.
Yeah, Borark's. One of them was Borark's rope.
Only one of us doesn't have rope.
It's probably me because it was my grappling hook.
See? The Dragonborn lost his rope. You should never lose your rope. You never know when you need rope. Rope is very handy.
Yeah, Mordenkainen would be very mad at you for not tying yourselves together.
You know, what would be very handy right now is an immovable rod.
I bet it would.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making a nest in the rafters.
Okay, that will be very difficult. There are rafters. There are 3 large beams running across this room, north to south. They're evenly spaced, but in order to get a table up there, you'd basically have to tie a rope to each of the legs of the table and suspend it that way. It would be very difficult.
I can't get rid of my line.
Why don't we just, like, lay out the tables on the floor and prop them up, secure them down onto the floor with nails or whatever?
Okay.
Honestly, with all these tables, we could just build, like, a tabled wall from the bar to the door.
Does anybody have any blankets and we'll make a fort?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, blanket fort. Everybody knows monsters can't get in your blanket fort.
Nothing can penetrate the nylon.
So, like, when you hide under a blanket and you know that you're hidden from everyone, but
Yeah.
everyone else is not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monsters can't see you if you can't see them.
It's just that. Exactly that.
All right, so you guys barricade up the inn as best you can. Are you building the funnel or are you building the wall?
I don't know. I think we got enough tables for both.
Well, remember, we've barricaded up the windows on the outside as well as some of the doors.
I mean, look at all the tables in here, though.
I would let you choose one or the other. You get a tactic.
I vote the funnel.
Yeah, funnel.
Okay, so I will leave the cone there where it is then. That is your funnel. All right. And then you guys can decide if you need to make any other home improvements to the inn. And I'm going to run to the bathroom.
The last home improvement that I'd like to make is put the ball bearings in our funnel.
I was just going to say that.
That's a great place for that.
I will buy more later if I need to.
I have a feeling we won't be buying anything.
Is it crossed anyone else's mind that it just seems like adults are being affected?
I thought about that too, but then metagaming wise, he did say that they could die. But I very much did think about the kids are being, I don't want to say they're not being left alone, they're definitely not being left alone, but the kids are, we're running into kids that.
Yeah, like whatever turned people into zombies only targeted adults.
I mean, that we know of though. We've only run into a few groups.
I know. I'm just saying, like, so far it seems like that.
No, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. That was definitely something I was like, huh.
Post hoc, ergo proctor hop.
I mean, and I also think it's interesting that the arms are coming after us, not any other part of their bodies, which immediately is like, Gabe, what did you...
Or are we blaming Gabriel for this?
I mean, why not?
I don't know that Adam ever stopped. So
I don't know that any storyline that you present in which there is some random person in the world that caused this, not Gabe, not anywhere related to Gabe, will be believed by Adam.
Like, what's something going on in the elemental plane? Oh, freaking Gabe.
Like, a deity came down and used necrotic magic to transform the world into zombies, and Adam would be like, well, Gabe probably wished for him to come down.
Listen. If it walks like a lich, it talks like a lich.
Probably a lich.
Listen, Linda, listen to me.
You're not listening.
It's your fault.
All right, so let's get cooking here. Watch order. You guys are setting watches, I presume, right?
Yeah, I'll take the first nap.
Graham, you for real need to go get some rest. For real.
I'm going to take the last watch.
I'll go tell
No,
him.
Graham needs to take the last watch because he's the most damaged. So somebody,
I'll take a rest.
Yeah,
I already called first.
that's fine. I'll take second.
Graham takes the bed. First, second, and then Shush will take the third watch.
Aye.
Okay, so let's see. First watch. Argrix is on first watch?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Rudy, on first watch, you hear things outside the inn. There's a lot of... You hear stuff walking up and down the road. It's definitely shuffly sounding. There's a few claws at the door. The handles jiggle a little bit, but then that's it. So there's definitely something out there. Nothing does anything intelligent enough like knock or anything like that, so it is a fairly safe assumption that these are undead moving around out there. Let's see. Second watch. Argrix, in the middle of the night, Jerry comes upstairs and says it smells bad downstairs.
Like how bad? Like bad like what?
He says, I think someone farted.
Does it smell like rotten eggs, or does it smell like rotten flesh?
It smells bad. This guy's 6. This kid is 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what...
I will go downstairs and see what's going on.
It definitely smells bad down here.
Does it smell like rotten eggs, or does it smell like rotten flesh?
Is it terrible?
It's a terrible smell. You can't quite place it, to be honest with you. You've never really smelled anything this pungent before.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. There is nothing magical going on down here.
Okay. Hey, this is a question I don't think I've ever thought about, but does detect magic, would that detect undead because they're technically magical?
No.
Like they were brought by necromancy?
Nope. It very rarely radiates creatures. Sometimes constructs will radiate magical, but it's pretty rare. Or if it's strictly a magical being, like I can't even think of one off the top of my head, because like a lot of things you think of as a magical being, like a unicorn, are actually just fake creatures. So
right. Okay. Can I do like a check to see if I can see where any of this is?
Sure. I mean, make a perception check. So you follow your nose.
To the babies.
To the babies. So funny. It smells like it's coming like straight up out of the walls.
They're in the walls.
Maybe the land is cursed again and it just smells. Wait, who said that?
Jerry.
What do you mean? Jerry's the one who smelled it, but...
Yeah, the other kids are awake now, too. They smell it, and everyone's looking at Marcus, the unliving, and he's like, not me.
It's probably Graham.
He's asleep. Don't blame him.
He's just got really bad gas.
That's probably true.
Who's awake? Just the kids, or is any of us awake besides?
No, you're the only adult awake.
And they are not able to sleep because of the smell. Like that all woke them.
You don't think you could sleep down here either anymore, to be honest.
Okay, this fundamentally changes everything. Okay. All right, I will wake. Jeez, I will wake them up. The rest of the party up and have them move upstairs.
The rest of the party is upstairs.
Oh, I thought we were all sleeping together.
I think the kids were the only ones sleeping downstairs.
Okay. So I'll have them. Does the smell come up the stairs too?
Nope.
Okay, so I will have them. Is there a way that we can close the stairs, like a doorway?
There is not.
We can put a table over the top of it.
You do have a couple of tables left. You could probably put a table over the top of it.
Let's try to do that then.
Okay.
And then, so I'll do that real quick, and then have them move upstairs and sleep upstairs.
Okay. They grab the mattresses, haul them upstairs as you put a table on top, and they hunker back in and try and go back to sleep.
Alright, and then I will, if nothing else happens on my watch, I'll just make sure that I tell Shush about that.
Okay. Nothing else happens on your watch. You let Shush know that it smells bad, and it's Shush's watch. Shush, make a perception check for me.
Graham is going to move from his bed to on top of the table that's covering the stairs.
Okay. Shush falls asleep on his watch.
Excellent.
No, having a bad perception check doesn't necessarily mean you're sleeping. Just because you rolled a nat 1. Shush's watch goes off without a hitch, so you guys do manage to squeeze in a rest. However, right at the end of it, you are all awoken by a sound. It sounds like somebody just hit the inn with a battering ram. The entire floor shakes, the walls shake, and you hear a lot of groaning coming from outside the doors.
The front door or the back door?
Front doors.
Time to go out the back.
Well, Graham wakes up. He goes over and finds his enchanted axe that he left on the floor somewhere. And when the bang goes off, he says, "Sorry, we're not open yet."
Shortly thereafter is followed by another bang, and you watch as the double doors start to pitch forward.
I'm going to casually walk across the floor and grab Graham by like like maybe his sleeve and pull him towards the back door.
I'm going to point up to the rafters and say you should go up there, Rudy.
You don't want to leave? What about the kids?
They're going to be watching the back exit.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of them.
So you want to make statement?
Well, I don't think we have much of the choice, and I think we knew this was coming. Like, if we go outside, then
We have no cover.
Hey, Mike. Out of the 1,000, how many would you say that I would have spread in that?
Well, if you want to cover that area, you'll end up using the whole bag.
Okay, that's fine then.
Margaret, are you sitting down by the door?
No, I didn't
Okay.
move my foot.
I would. So, can I be up in the rafters in the middle of the room right here then?
You sure can.
That's where I'm going to be.
So you're about 15 feet up off the ground. Shush, where do you want to go?
I'm also in the raptor.
Ooh, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't have that ability yet. Never mind.
The kids, I'm going to tell to go into the bedroom,
Okay.
and I'm going to give them a chair to prop up against the door handle so that they can't open it
Okay.
from our side, or it's more difficult.
Sounds good. Any other precautions you want to take as this is starting to go?
Rudy, you're above the funnel?
Yep, just above the funnel and the rafters.
I'll move next to Rudy then,
Okay.
I guess, up in the rafter.
Sounds good.
Graham smiles at Argrix and says it's always a good day to die.
I'm gonna use a minor illusion on the rafters above them to create just a little like barrier, like so that they just can't see them.
Okay. All right. So you guys are making your final preparations, and the doors cave in, and this thing comes barreling through.
Before it comes through, can I prepare to throw a javelin?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
So roll your initiatives.
Lightning. I shoot lightning. Or light.
Who are we missing? Oh, there we are. All right, and the kids got a 7. All right. So you see this ogre zombie come smashing through the doors. He doesn't look like he's been zombified really long, and it moans and just starts stomping into the tavern. So, Graham, you can huck your javelin at it if you want, because you readied that action. And then we'll start with Rudy.
Oh gosh, you're going to easily.
We're not open for business yet.
All right. Yeah.
Can I get an opposed deception check?
Yeah, no, you are not able to discern the zombie's weaknesses enough. So
That's okay.
you will not be
Still
rolling
shooting
at
him.
advantage.
Still shooting him with a bow.
Would you say that he's hidden?
I would say that he's hidden. You would have advantage. Good call.
Okay.
You get your sneak attack. That's the more important thing, more than hitting.
Oh,
So an extra 6. All right. Okay, so the zombie ogre is smashing into the room. Graham, it is your regular turn now.
Then Rudy, you can hide behind that barrier. I mean, that was the whole point.
Graham is going to just kind of step up into the hole.
aren't we hiding in it right now?
Yeah, I think that's the point of it. All right, so Graham, you step into the hole of the funnel.
Can he, and I don't know what the answer would be for this, can I rage and reckless attack, but hold my attack until the zombie gets to him?
Yes.
That is what I'll be doing.
No.
No?
You can't. Because once you use an action, you can't hold the rest of your action. If you hold on your turn, it's everything. You use your turn to use the hold a turn, to which you can save an action.
Just one action.
Yep.
What about my bonus action?
Nope. Holding a turn only allows you to save an action.
Yeah, but if I use my bonus action,
Oh, yeah, you could. Yes.
I'm going to use my bonus action to rage. Then I'm going to hold my turn to use my attack action.
No, because your bonus action is part of your turn.
Gotcha.
You couldn't even move and then hold your action. Like, you have to hold everything, and then you have to declare what you can do, and you can either take an action or move when you hold.
Gotcha.
Okay. I don't like the mechanic, but it is what it is.
No, that's changed a little bit, so that's okay.
Yeah, just let that thing walk in and fall down.
Yeah,
Throw another javelin.
huck another javelin at it.
All right. Fair enough.
But I'm in a rage while I'm doing it because, well,
Yep.
I want extra strength damage.
Alright, so you sink another javelin into that sucker. And it continues to trundle forward. Shush. Dude, you're hot with those nat 20s tonight.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. So you blast it with some radiant damage.
Yep, I'm gonna send 2 more its way with a key point. Nope. Oh, wait, that wasn't a 1. Never mind.
Yeah, it looked like a 1. I thought so too. It was not. Alright, so Shush pumps quite a bit of damage into it with 3 radiant blasts. And it is now the ogre's turn. And it smashes its way forward up to Graham. And it will attempt to smash him with looks like a giant bone.
Do the thing you on the ground.
Oh, I forgot about the... so, on its way, how much... I get 30 feet of movement. 5, 10, 15, falls down. It gets to here, slips on the ball bearings, and stands back up. So it does not make it, and does not clobber you.
Sweet.
And then, you see the other one.
Not sweet.
And it comes through. It will make a dexterity saving throw. It's even worse. It has a similar conundrum. It tumbles into your barricade on the side as it falls down because there's not enough room for it to stand. And your barricade holds, so it's kind of wedged over here. But it has taken significant damage on the left-hand side.
The barricade,
Yes.
not the zombie.
Not the zombie. The children are in the room. Argrix is up.
So I know the picture of the zombie has a sword sticking out of him. Does that have it?
No, that's just the picture of the ogre zombie. They both look pretty fresh.
Does it have any metal on it?
No. It does not.
It has a javelin stuck in it.
It's got a what?
It might have a javelin stuck in it.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to do that to the healthy one. 1 second. I will use Fairy Fire.
Good call.
Oh, poor guys.
Nice. -1. Rolled a negative. And that's my turn.
All right. Top of the round. Rudy, you hear the kids in the bedroom screaming.
Oh, jeez.
And the door pops open. And you see them getting ready to run out of the room there.
Do they actually do that?
It's not their turn, but...
This is what you see them doing. Yeah, but do they actually do it?
No, I think he meant running out of the room. Looks like they're about to run out of the room.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. Oh boy. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm just gonna fire on the one.
Okay.
I'll try my insight again.
You don't need to. There, you have advantage on both of them.
They're fairy fire.
Oh, sweet.
That's such a great spell.
Have it
I
advantage
love
on
that
it?
spell.
Yeah. If they're hit by fairy fire, you get advantage. Every attack against them gets advantage.
Mm-hmm. It is such a powerful spell
Mm-hmm.
that is underutilized.
Not when I'm playing a bard, it's not.
For real, yo.
And I'm just gonna continue to use the hide bonus action from my spell.
Alright, sounds good. Then that's your turn. So you plunk another arrow into the one, doing quite a bit of damage to it, and hide back behind the illusion. Graham, you're up.
Do I need to make a save to go into the...
No, because even if you fell down, you'd still have enough movement to get to where you needed to go.
Okay. I will be using my sword and shield because, well, I don't like being hit by bones.
Does that affect right? It looks like it's granting advantage to the ogre zombie, not...
Nope. The effect is grant advantage to attacks.
Oh, sure it is.
On itself.
Not advantage attack.
Advantage attack.
Okay, thank you. I always think that when I look at that.
I know. I don't blame you.
Alright, so Graham, you lay into the zombie with your magical battle axe.
Yep.
Borark's axe.
Bork's axe.
Wasn't that thing on fire?
He was able to make it go on fire.
Yeah. His class was able to do that, a race.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he was a forge cleric. You'd watched him do it lots of times over the last year. And, you already did your damage. My bad. So you slash into the ogre zombie, hit it with the battle axe, and do some damage to it. That brings up Shush.
Yeah, I'm just going to continue laying into ogre zombie 1. And I'll use my key points to throw 2 more.
Okay. All right. You kill that one, and he doesn't even get a save because you killed it with radiant damage.
Cool. So I'm going to hold that last one, and I'm going to run in by the kids.
Okay.
If I see anything to attack, I'll use it there. Otherwise, I'll throw it at the other zombie.
You see several very undeady-looking claws coming up between the cracks between the table and the rest of the room. Marlamir is pinning the table down to the ground. These things are trying to push it up. They don't quite look zombied, but they're definitely undead. This thing has 3/4 cover, so that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's barely any of it showing.
Okay.
So you are going to miss it with that blast. But you also, when you open the door, the smell is nauseating. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, all right.
It looks like several of the kids have already puked.
Nice.
It's almost like you can't smell it at all. You're like, I don't know, it smells bad. You critically roll your saving throw and you're like, take a deep breath, smell it. It's good.
And then I'll usher the kids out.
Okay.
Moving in and taking my place on that table, I guess, to try and hold it down while fighting whatever's coming in.
Okay. As soon as Marlamir takes pressure off of the table, it goes flying, and you see 2 creatures barreling up out of the stairwell below, and they do not look happy to see you.
I figured they wouldn't.
Yep.
Can I close the door?
You can close the door if you want. It locks and opens from the other side, but you can close it.
I'm going to close the door as soon as the children come out.
Sounds good. All right, and that's going to bring up Ardrix. The kids cannot see the zombie inside the tunnel of chairs.
Yeah, zombie gets to go.
Oh, he does. I skipped him. Thank you. He was going to attack the wall, but since the other zombie's dead, he's just going to turn and attack the barbarian instead. Are you attacking recklessly? No, you're not, because you don't.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Does a 16 hit you?
Nope.
Because you got your shield out. All right. So he comes really close. He comes swinging in, and you just deflect the blow with the shield. And that's all he gets to do. And then Ardrix is up.
I think I'm going to drop Fairy Fire and put up a cloud of daggers on that door.
On the door by T? By Shush?
Yeah, I mean, can I get that? Can I put it in there without it getting hit?
I would have still had movement left, and I could have moved away from the door.
Then yeah, that's fine.
As long as it's not the kids.
Cloud of daggers is right there then.
Okay. How do you want me to roll? Do you want me to roll it now and then whenever people come into it?
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, rather than stopping to roll damage every time. That's a good roll.
Not a bad roll.
Do they get a saving throw or anything on that sucker?
You don't.
Nice.
It's the first time on somebody's turn that they walk into it, or they start their turn in it.
Okay.
They just take that damage.
Sounds good. And anything else on your turn?
No.
Some pretty sweet rolls with some D4s.
All right.
Yeah, it really is.
That goes to the top of the round, and you see several other undead pushing their way into the inn from the outside. You see zombies, and you've seen skeletons as well. All right, the Ghast comes running out to attack Shush, and he has to go through the cloud, and it's actually outside here in the area, right outside the door. So he's going to get nailed for all 12 of that damage. Shush has made his saving throw against its stench. He's immune to it, so the Ghast will attempt to bite Shush and miss pretty terribly with an 8. And then he will attempt to claw Shush and miss even worse with a 7. That's terrible. You're bad. And the ghoul will squeeze through this area. He will also take the damage because he's squeezing through an allied square, climb up on the bar, and attempt to bite and claw Shush. A 10, a 23, that will hit you. So Shush, this ghoul leans forward and it just claws down through your feathers. You're going to take 5 points of damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you. Well, that's plenty. You feel your muscles stiffening up as he claws you, but you shake it off. You are not affected by a ghoul paralyze. Rudy.
Okay, so I would yell this to the bard and the barbarian. I'm just going to move to the back because I'm guessing you guys are going to be able to take care of the front with the ball bearings and the ones.
Yep, go for it.
So I'm going to move and use dash as a bonus to get in range.
Okay. So you drop down out of the ceiling, climb down out of the ceiling, and then dash over to that ghoul. I don't know if you'd need to do that. How much movement speed do you got?
You said I only have 25 movement.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're small.
And you said I was 15 feet up, so I'm figuring 15 feet plus 15 is 30, so I have to dash.
You are correct.
And I can't believe I hit him.
I'm really surprised you hit him, too, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Not what I was expecting.
That's just straight awful.
Oh, at least I hit it.
Yeah, you did hit it. So you're just still trying to scramble around after dropping out of the ceiling, and you just don't get a good land blow on him, on the ghoul as you stab him in the back. Graham, you're up.
Graham is going to simply open up an attack on the big guy. He still has Fairy Fire, right?
No, not anymore.
No, he does not, yeah.
Well, then, obviously, it's going to be recklessly. Yeah, he's going to drop the battle axe and draw out the greatsword.
All right. Go, Graham. All right, so you lay pretty heavily into that ogre zombie with the greatsword. It seems to just not care at all that you've hit it. And that will bring up Shush. There is a wall there. I believe that's Adam. You just put that up? Argrix?
What?
There's a wall there.
There's a wall there.
Well, I know. I'm just moving stuff around.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if you were trying to get your breath weapon through the wall.
I am, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how to even worry about that.
Does Brian have to worry about the smell, or is that just when they're adjacent?
He is not within 5 feet of the ghast.
Okay.
He can smell it, but he's not in the overpowering aura.
And that will do my turn.
All right, so you blast the ghast with a bunch of radiant damage, and it manages to stay up on its feet. So, Skelly 1 is going to shoot an arrow at the barbarian. And 14 does not hit you, correct?
I'm sorry, me?
Yes.
No, 16 right now.
16 right now. All right, so the skeleton misses with its arrow. The children, again, Marlamir is taking the defend action, and Razia misses with the short bow. Which brings up our ogre zombie friend, who has advantage on his attack against Graham.
That he does.
And he will hit you with a 22 for 19 points of bludgeoning damage. You can have that down to 8. 9. Halved it to 9. And that'll bring up Argrix.
Okay. Nobody else moved. Okay, alright. Where's that wall, by the way?
Right where can you not see the cone?
I can't. I didn't know. Is that that's the inside of it, though?
That's the inside of it.
Yep, you are now inside of it.
Which actually the zombie would either have to be up a square or down up at half a square or down a half a square.
Yeah, he's not in a square, so.
So that would be in the cone.
Okay, so I can hit all of them. Okay. I don't have an easy way to do this because I only have one hand.
What are you doing?
Control clicking.
Yeah, I can't control click on them, so I'm just going to target each of them individually.
Okay.
Use your other hand.
I can't.
Not with that attitude.
Holy cow, did they all? Oh, no, okay, so 3 out of 5.
It really sucks for that zombie, too, because they have good con.
So...
Everybody takes 6 damage except for
the ogre and zombie 2.
2. The you take.
Hey, Argrix, let me know who you want to target next time. I can do it for you.
What do you mean?
I mean, that.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so that's your turn.
No, yeah, that's me.
2 zombies.
Actually, I'm gonna use. No, that's it. Yep.
Okay, so that ends your turn. The 2 zombies come in. They both fall. So 5, 10, 15. This one can still scooch to here. And this one, 5, 10, 15. That one can get to there. So they are both going to attack Graham.
Oh, let me roll my dagger damage real quick.
Oh, yeah. That's coming up. And
Oops.
Oh my gosh. Well.
one of the zombies will hit Graham.
Mike, did you see what happened?
No. Oh, you...
Tony targeted all those people for me, and I didn't know he did that.
And so you just killed all my monsters.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. Look at all the death you caused.
Alright. Let me...
Obviously, we know what you need to be doing now, Rex.
Cheating? I can't hit all of them with a cloud of dagger.
Why not?
Because they're not on the same square.
Yet.
Oh, wait, this
Maybe
guy's...
necessarily hack the game.
I'm trying to think of that, and as a condescending direct man.
Alright, so, there, I fixed it. They're all better. And the Ghast will take the 9 damage at the start of his turn.
Yeah.
So, Graham, did you hear me say that you took damage?
You said that you hit.
Yeah, you'll take... He hits you for 4, so you can have that to 2. And that brings up the first skeleton's turn, who's going to shoot at you. And that will hit you for 7, so you can have that to 3. Ghast takes 9 damage at the start of his turn. And then attempts to bite and claw Shush.
Unacceptable.
He will miss with the bite, but he will get you with his claws. I need a con save.
Man, what good is a 17 AC if they always hit?
You need an 18.
I see that. Oh, I'm paralyzed.
Yep.
Awesome.
You guys watch as Shush freezes up in the back as the Ghast claws into him. So then it is the ghoul's turn, who is going to turn on the guy who just stabbed it in the back of the head. And that is a crit, Ryan, on the claws. I'll need a con save from you as well. You are not paralyzed. You shake off the stiffness, but you do take 13 points of slashing damage as he claws down your halfling face. And then it is your turn.
You didn't give me a damage, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry, T. Thank you for bringing that up. 10 points of damage.
Thank you. Ryan, you won't get sneak attack right now because I'm paralyzed.
Oh.
That's okay. You still will have killed it. So,
Oh, good.
12 points of damage will have killed it. I don't think these guys have undead resilience. They do not. So, you lay into the ghoul and you return the favor of slashing at it and you stab it to death.
I'm just going to move a little bit and then...
All right. Then you step out of the way and it's Graham's turn.
Graham is going to switch to his battle axe and shield, not liking the amount of hits, but continues to attack recklessly.
Good job.
Um,
Oh, that's weird. On my screen, it was totally a 7 and a 20.
Yeah, it was on mine too, but they gave you a 9 for some reason.
I would have taken that. The ogre needs to make an athletics check to
Okay.
oppose a push.
Oh.
Oh, come on. That was a 19 on him.
Would your push be advantaged by the fact that there's bolt bearings on the ground?
Actually, I think my push is advantage because of the fact that I am raged.
Yeah, I think I think that's accurate. The ogre is destabilized from the ball bearings on the ground, and you push him, and he doesn't step backwards. He just kind of slides back up against the wall.
He's all suave about it.
Kind of like just Michael Jackson moonwalks backwards across the end.
And then I'm going to step forward into that space.
Okay. So I get an attack of opportunity against you from the one zombie whose space you are
Zombie
departing.
number 2, yes.
Yep. That's another crit, Andy.
Really?
Yeah, thanks for the advantage, man.
No problem.
And he is going to pummel you for 8, so you'll take 4.
Graham's just like, 'tis a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Right now I have about 110 HP, so,
Effective, yeah.
effective.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so you moved, you attacked. All right, that's going to bring up Shush then.
I am paralyzed.
Please make your saving throw.
Oh, I get another one at the end of my turn.
I believe so.
All right.
16. You are no longer paralyzed.
Nice.
Happy day for you. Skeleton is going to take a shot at the barbarian because he is the closest target. And he is going to hit you. You're going to take 4 points of damage, rounded down to 2. Razia. Why did she roll with advantage? That's weird.
Against who?
The ghoul, because that's the one closest to them. And I need
The
to...
ghoul's unconscious. That's
Or the ghast. The ghast. So she does not hit. I just re-rolled it because you can never tell which one rolled first. And one would have hit, one would have missed. So she misses. Ogre Zombie is gonna try and smash the barbarian, who is accosting it and in his way. Andy, that's another crit, bro.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. Give it your best shot.
I feel like I am tonight. It's making up for all those ones I rolled at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Well, I trust you.
I know, it's just one of those things. So he pounds down on you for a total of 26 points of damage, so you'll take 13. And now it is Argrix's turn.
I will cast another fairy fire on
come on, the blades
the
are
zombie. Oh, that's right. The blade storm's still going.
So we're keeping Cloud of Daggers up then?
Yeah, I'll keep that up. And then I'll move there. Sweet. And then I will do a blade.
Alright, so you slide over alongside the 2 zombies. You a blade flourish.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
So I hit. Hold on, I gotta reread this. I definitely hit zombie 2 for 6 damage.
Yep.
I don't know if I hit the other one too as well.
Well, let me know. I'll start rolling for them, and if he takes 6 damage as well, you can tell me. Actually, I already gave it to him. I'll take it off if he did not. So now they are both attacking you.
Yeah, both of them. So I hit extra damage to the target. I hit and to any other target within 5 yards.
Nice.
Or 5 feet.
Very nice. All right, so you nail both of them for the damage. So zombie 1 and 2 both take the...
Okay. And then I get another attack.
Oh, all right.
Sweet.
And he does not make his saving throw, which is good because when I rolled my attack rolls, that's the one that hit you and didn't roll the nat 1. The other one rolled a nat 1 and then rolled a 4. So you watch as this thing tries to swing at you, but you hear snapping sounds as its bones and its arm go out of joint, and its arm is hanging a little limply at its side, which is going to take us up to Skelly 1, who's going to shoot the barbarian. Maybe. It's been pretty good. They've been pretty good on this. Oh, no, that's terrible. That's a 13 with advantage, so... And
it does still. Yep, never mind.
And the ghast takes...
9, I think.
You didn't re-roll this round.
It was 8.
8. You did re-roll. I missed it. 8 is in just enough to kill it as it starts its turn in the cloud of daggers and gets blended apart. Rudy.
Can I hit that thing on the other side?
No, you'd have to go back up in the ceiling. Or you'd have to go into the funnel at the back end.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just make my way to the ceiling from here then.
Okay. You climb back up into the ceiling, and then you can shoot down into the funnel you guys constructed. Oh, these dice are not matching at all. I mean, you still hit him, but I saw him roll a... Never mind. An 18.
I saw a 20.
Yeah. All right, let me see if he pops back up, and he will not. Anything else, Rudy?
No.
All right, so you plunk an arrow into that zombie's head, put him down for good. Graham.
Graham is going to continue his assault recklessly. Let's see here, what was I using? I was using battle axe. And it needs to make... I'm going to come over here and attempt to push
Where are you going to push it to?
out the door.
Skeletons are in the way. Can you push something into something else's space?
Probably not, but I meant to try.
Okay. I don't quite know how to rule that. Gosh, I can't imagine him beating that, but we'll see. Nope.
Do you remember how you did it with when we were in the temple?
Isn't it?
I don't, so I'm just going to move the skeletons back.
I remember how you did it. And it wasn't that. It was actually pretty cool, and I think you should use it.
What
They
happened?
have to make a save too, with a lower DC.
Well, those skeletons are terrible, so. I mean, even at best, even if I let them use their dex instead of their strength, which I don't feel like for this, if they're trying to stop him from moving, at best they'd have a 13. So, not gonna cut it. Alright, anything else, Graham?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, Shush! Your turn.
Oh, okay.
Graham has shoved the giant ogre zombie back out into the doorway. The skeletons are pushed a little further back.
40 feet of movement will get me there.
And make a dexterity save.
Why?
Because the area is covered in ball bearings.
Oh, dang.
Because of Rudy.
Oh, I know those are there. I don't need to go there. I will go there. And that is all I will do.
Alright.
Quick
Skeleton.
question, are the doors like still on the hinges and just wide open?
No, they're
Or
gone.
They're gone?
The doors are gone. 20 will hit the barbarian. Wait, no. 18. Does that hit you with your shield up?
It just hits it.
Okay. Oop, not that
Goes
dice.
to the attacker.
For 4 damage, so you'll take 2. The children, Razia no longer has a good line of sight on anything to shoot, so she is not shooting anything. Ogre zombie. And he will miss you this round as his
Ah!
big bone comes crashing down and you deflect it with your shield. Argrix is up.
I will go right there, and I will make a big swing. And then I will use. How long has he been in?
Not very long.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'll use healing word on Drake.
Okay. So you cast Healing Word on him after you stab the zombie, and that's going to bring up the skeleton, who is going to...
Oh, sorry, real quick. I'm also going to use a Blade Flourish to make... So, yeah, I'll roll this one.
Okay.
Oh, lame. So you do an extra 1 damage to him, and I get an extra 1 AC.
Sounds good. All right. So that brings up our skeleton,
Are you rolling it?
I'm rolling it.
Okay.
who takes a shot at the barbarian. 18 will hit.
Nice.
You'll be hit for 7 points of damage, so you can have that to 3. Rudy, you're up. Yank out the short bow and plunk another one in the ogre zombie. 14 more damage. Very nice. Very nice. Then you scoot down the rafter to get a little closer. Graham.
Graham is a recklessly attack.
Of course. This really needs to reward you with a crit sooner or later, man.
I know.
It's just not. You've been
And
denied.
then the ogre needs to make a grappling check. Counter grapple.
It's close, but not enough. You beat him out.
Okay. I'm going to yell at him that we are not open yet.
Oh, right. Righto.
This guy thinks it's Black Friday.
Had there been doors, I would have slammed one in his face.
That's that why you asked? That's great.
That's why I asked.
That's fantastic. Anything else on your turn, Graham?
Just to push him backwards.
All right. So he is shoved backwards. The skeletons at this point are just going to step out of the way, and he is now outside. Shush.
Oh, I'll move there. Are there ball bearings there?
No, you're good. Any further in and you're not, though. Actually, I'd say you could go even one more square in and you'd be all right. Radiant damage to the ogre zombie doesn't give him a chance to come back, so you fry him and he collapses to the ground.
I'll just start clapping.
Very nice. You start clapping. You hear the children in the back clapping.
I assume they're golf clapping, right?
A little bit more excited than a golf clap. Another arrow sinks itself into Graham. Oh, for that, after you have it, is going to be 1 point of damage. Children will do nothing. Argrix, you're up. You got 2 skeletons outside.
I mean, are we going outside?
I mean, we could.
I don't know if I want to. I will Rudy to the aim and shoot him.
Boom. Blast the skeleton apart.
And then do another.
Okay. Cast out some more healing. Skeleton is going to... You are now closer, so it's actually going to attack you. So it's not rolling at advantage. And it will miss. As it pulls its bow back, takes a shot, and the arrow just plunks into the wall of the house. Rudy, you're up, but you cannot see a target at the moment.
Oh, okay. Can I move laterally? Is there a raptor to move laterally?
There is not. You'd have to make an acrobatics leap, and it'd be pretty far.
I could do it.
I will do that.
All right. Oh,
I will not do that.
oh, that's not good. Fall damage. You get to make a dexterity saving throw as you tumble down in. You do not make your leap. You gracefully tumble out of the rafters and land in the middle of the ball bearings. But you do make your dexterity saving throw and recover the landing somewhat. You land a little harder than you want to, hit the ball bearings, slip, and face plant, and you'll take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
You just army rolled out of the sky.
So I'm landing in here then?
Yep, you are right there.
How much movement do I have left, or do I have no movement?
I'll give you another 5 feet.
Okay, can I see him if I move adjacent 5 feet then?
You can. Make a dexterity saving throw as you try and navigate your own ball bearings. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Sorry. Hey, sorry guys, I died.
Ball bearings.
You slip on your ball bearings and you fall prone
The whole time too.
underneath the table, and you cannot see your target.
You were only moving like 5 feet at a time, so even if we did...
That's all I else did.
Yeah, but you only had 5 feet left.
You could take an action to move more.
Point if we
Actually,
move if we move 5 feet and we have 30, even if we trip and fall, we can just use the rest of our movement to stand back up.
No, what I'm asking is, like, were you guys rolling to move?
No, because we didn't need to. It was redundant. Even if we fell, we would just stand right back.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't moving far enough to where it would have affected anything. You were, however, but
I want to say that if you move at half speed over ball bearings, you don't have to make that, I think. Is that right?
I don't know. I just made an at-table ruling because I was unaware of the actual rule. So,
well, could I have just used my dash to get into place then, and then use my axe?
You can now use your dash to get up and move to where you want to be.
I just want to move there. That's all I want. All right.
You may now do it. So you aim your bow at the skeleton and you blast it apart. After all of that work, you blast it apart and you solved my undead skeletal ogre zombie gassed in the basement puzzle.
Yeah, ball bearings. Creature moving across the covered area must make a DC 10 dex save or fall prone. Creature moving through the area at half speed doesn't need to make.
All right, cool. Nice to know. Graham and Argrax, make perception checks for me. Graham, looking out the doors, you do see coming up the roadway leading to the inn. The fog is thinner in the morning. It's not thin, though, but now that the light's out, you get some extra distance out of your view. There is a large crowd of undead shambling its way down the road towards the inn.
From the west?
From the south.
Oh.
From southwest-ish. There are a few of them coming out of the woods, but it looks like they're coming up the road.
I would like to advise the team that it is time to relocate
Yeah, that's what I think.
to Barovia. Or wherever we're going. I don't know where we're going.
How are the kids? Did they get?
The kids are better. They're Jerry obviously doesn't have any levels of exhaustion. The others are. Neither does Marcus, because the 1 point he did pick up, he was able to sleep off. The others are back to 1 instead of 2.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to think, since this is like a bar area, I'm trying to think, like, specifically, I'd be looking behind the counter for anything. I want to use my eye for detail feature to see if I can find anything hidden, like something that would be like a weapon, anything that they would have kept behind the bar for like, protection.
Yeah, there's definitely a mace back there behind the bar. There's also a cash box.
I'd like to.
Yeah, well, I'll take that with us then.
Okay. So
I'd like to check downstairs real quick while these guys were doing their checking the front door thing. I want to know where they came in from.
It definitely looks like they burrowed a hole up through the floor, kind of at the base of the wall, pushed some stones out of the way, and they came in that way. The tunnel smells rank.
Okay.
All right, so we're vominosing then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Do
Andy,
we have food?
I have at least 11. I think I have 11. No, I probably have like 10.
Yep. Do we need to call it quits for the night here?
I'm good.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yes, I need to call it quits.
Okay. All right. So then this is where I will leave you guys as you're fleeing the inn and getting ready to head down the road with the kids in tow. Or through the woods, most likely, again, since the road seems to be clogged. So, all right. That's where we'll stop then, guys, and we'll pick it up here right next week.